This is George Dionne of the Rock is George podcast, and this is a KNAC.com exclusive interview with German heavy metal artist Doro Pesch. So today we're talking about your latest release, Warriors of the Sea. It comes out on October 24th through your own imprint, Rare Diamond Productions. From what I understand, the idea for this album was spawned off of two sold-out Metal Queen metal cruises earlier this year. Tell me a little bit about these shows.
Yeah, actually, I did so many cruises. Like the first one was 70,000 tons of metal. And then I did many, many times the Great Monsters of Rock cruises and the full metal cruises. So one time I said, man, I would love to do my own cruise where we can play like 3 hours and play all our deep cuts or like really songs which we have never played before. And and then we did one cruise and it was immediately sold out, and then we did the second one, and then I thought, oh man, it needs to have a song. And and then it just, I think I'm always pretty good with melodies and like the choruses, like lyrics and melodies. Usually it comes out like, when I don't even think about it, but when that comes out, when I feel, ooh, there could be some magic to it, then I record it. And and this idea just came out. And then I went to my bass player, Stefan, and I showed him the idea. And he said, oh man, I think that there could be really something nice. So we did this song, Warriors of the Sea. And then I thought, man, we should do a video. So we did a video for it. And I think that came out pretty cool. And then I thought, I want to do something like a physical product, like, maybe a little single or something, or a CD. And then we thought maybe a 12-inch. And then we thought, how about a whole album which, like, talks about warriors and, and the sea and the metal cruises. So that was it then. And that's the one. And it has many, many deep cuts on it. And of course, Warriors of the Sea has a beautiful cover, I think, of Touch Too Much by AC/DC. And it looks really nice. It's like, it's one time a liquid filled vinyl with blue curacao. Maybe you can see it. And when you put it on your record player, it looks like really cool. And today I got the new album. I haven't seen it yet, but I wanna show you. It's the picture disc, and I'm always doing the graphic stuff with my graphic artist, and the painter is still Jeffrey Gillespie, the guy who did our Triumph and Agony cover. I always like love him. And okay, here it goes. I hope I didn't ruin it, but that's the picture disc. And I'm old school. I love like stuff in my hand, and that's the one. That's the one.
That looks great.
Looks nice, no? There with the ghost ship. Yeah, the theme was like, between ghost ship and pirates. And so we all looked like little pirates, the band and we dressed up a little bit. And all the fans, they came dressed up. It was like almost like a little Halloween party. It was so cool. So yeah, and that's the one. And it's a special release. It's not a brand new album, but it's special. So yeah. And it has a B-side is only live tracks. We recorded it last tour. And yeah, and on the other side, there are all kinds of like Warriors of the Sea, Touch Too Much, Tattooed Angels, and Horns Up High. There was actually a song on the limited edition of the Conquerors album, the recent album. And I always thought this song has so much more potential, and not many people know it, because if you didn't get the limited edition, you wouldn't hear the song. So it had another chance to be heard by the fans. And and it's a fun song, and that's a total pirate song. So yeah.
So this album comes out on your own imprint. Is it good to have your own label so you could do these special projects where you can choose to do the picture disc, you can do the liquid filled thing, you can keep fans satisfied until your Nuclear Blast studio album comes out?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like the liquid filled vinyl is 1,500. It's limited edition. So yeah, with my own label, I can do all like these cool things, like cut out vinyl and all that good stuff. So I like that. And yeah, and then the new album, will be probably on on the way in 1.5 years. I'm writing songs already, but it will take a little while. And before a new album, I want to put a DVD out or Blu-ray. There was of our 40th anniversary, and it had so many great guests on it. For example, Mickey D of Motorhead, Phil Campbell of Motorhead, Elisa White-Gluz of Arch Enemy, Angela Gosso of Arch Enemy. They were both on the same stage, and we sang "Oh, We Are Together." I think that was the first time these two great ladies they sang together. And I did "Touch of Evil" with Elisa, and we had many other guests like Hansi Kirsch of Blind Guardian, Joey Belladonna of Anthrax, and Chris Caffrey on guitar. It was really really cool. And yeah, so I want to put out first a DVD and then a new album. But this one, yeah, that's coming out now in October. And yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about your cover of AC/DC's Touch Too Much. I was very impressed by this. I feel like you could do a full album of AC/DC covers.
Oh, really? Oh, you're sweet. Oh, thank you. It was my favorite song. I loved it so much. And one time somebody asked me if I could do it. It's this big tattoo convention. It's called Wild Style. And the guy was a huge AC/DC fan, especially of that song. He said, couldn't you record it? And I said, well, I could try. I love that song. That's my favorite AC/DC song as well. So I did it, and I thought, wow, it's fun, and came out pretty nice. And I hope the fans will like it. And we will probably play it live as well. And yeah, but I was a big AC/DC fan. Actually, when we formed Warlock in 1982, the bass player, he had Kiss on his arm tattooed, like, homemade, self-made, and the guitar player AC/DC. So that's when we formed our band. And yeah, and we took it from there. And yeah, but yeah, I love AC/DC, of course, yes. And Bon Scott, oh my God, yes.
You included another song from that tattoo convention compilation. That's Tattooed Angels. That
Yes.
came out in 2014. I love this song too, and I hadn't heard of it, and it's been out for 10 years.
Yes, actually, yeah, it was just on this compilation for this tattoo convention, and nobody ever heard it, like, except when you were at the tattoo convention when you got like a fancy tattoo. So, and I got the rights back, so I could now use it, and yeah, and I was very happy to do it. And yeah, it's a cool song. We played it a couple of times live, and it was very nice live. And yeah.
How many tattoos do you have yourself?
Actually, I started when I was 11, and I did all kinds of things. I tattooed all my girlfriends, boyfriends. Everybody had to go to the hospital because they got they got all kinds of problems. We were kids. And then I got my first professional tattoo, I think in 1995, when we had one album out. It was Machine to Machine. And it was one single. It was called Ceremony. And I thought, man, I need to have a real nice ceremony tattoo. And it was the first professional one. And then I got a couple more, like for my dad, and all kinds of things. Like, they some of them look great. Some of them they look really like childish. But they all mean something to me. And yeah.
So on the B side of Warriors of the Sea, it's live tracks from your 2024 to 2025 live shows. Are you constantly recording live wherever you go?
No, not no. But yeah, we a couple of shows we thought, man, like when we were on tour, like for a longer time, then I thought, man, it sounds so good. It sounds really tight. Let's record it. And then we got, these recordings, and then I thought, wow, let's do something with it. And yeah, and I personally I like live versions more than studio versions because of the fans, because of the energy, and when people are singing along and sweating and headbanging and stage diving, it's a different animal, it's a different kind of energy. So I'm a big sucker for live stuff. And yeah.
And you mentioned before the liquid fill vinyl is drinkable blue curacao, but we probably shouldn't drink it though, right?
No, if you're really, really desperate, you can have a little sip, but I'm sure it will not get you drunk. But it's more like for fun. And no, it's actually I think it's too little. But just in case, you hang it on your wall, and then if you feel you really need something, you could actually, I guess, put a hole in it. And these things, they are handmade. Like, they're all handmade. That's the reason why it's only limited edition, and it's a lot of work. But yeah, but I thought, this time it's something special. It's yeah for the diehard fans, for the collectors, and all.
You're a collector of vinyl too. I've interviewed you in the past. You had some great box sets. One in particular from Motorhead, I remember. But you're a collector too.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I like stuff like that. I don't know if you guys remember that one. It was the biggest album cover in the world. It was actually in the Guinness Book of World Records, and we got all kinds of, like, yeah, special things. I love it. And yeah, and I used to be a graphic artist before I went full time, touring and stuff. And I like stuff which looks nice. And yeah, I know everybody's just listening to, like all these other platforms, but I want to have something in my hand. I still love it. And I know there are so many fans out there who love that as well. And
What does the winter touring schedule look like for you?
yeah, actually, yeah, we first want to do a couple of release parties in Germany and in America to celebrate it good, of course, with Blue Curacao, maybe baptize the album. And yeah, and then in December we have a European tour, and then we're coming to the States, and we have a couple of festivals lined up. The first festival is in March. That's Hell's Heroes in Houston, Texas. And I played there 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was awesome. So we will definitely play many festivals in America and then all over the world. And yeah, and I love doing festivals. And this year I was, of course, in Wacken again. Wacken is, yeah, one of the nicest, biggest metal festivals in Europe. So if people ever want to, come travel to Europe, Wacken is definitely is very exciting. So I was there this year, and I did a song with Udo Dirkschneider, because he recorded Balls to the Wall, and he had many, many guests. And I was a guest on this beautiful song, Winter Dreams. And we did a nice video as well. And then I was singing the Wacken anthem. It was just called Wacken with another band. They call it the Butcher Sisters. They're actually funny as hell. It's unbelievable. And it's really funny. And yeah, and then I did another duet. It's a band called Feuerschwanz. That means fire tail. And we did a song called Valhalla. So yeah, I love doing collaborations. It's fun, and you learn more, and you meet great people. Usually, you have a friend for a lifetime, or friends, or the whole band or crew. And yeah, so yeah, but the plan is, yeah, doing the tour, and then gearing up for next year, writing more songs and doing more videos and doing this DVD. And yeah, and then doing all the festivals and playing a lot in America and all over the planet. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you got your first professional tattoo around the release of Machine to Machine, and I happen to have a question about it because it's the 30th anniversary of that album. You
Yeah.
worked with producer Jack Ponte, who worked with Bon Jovi here in the States, and Alice Cooper. What do you remember about working with Jack Ponte in the studio?
I think he was the funniest guy I've ever met. He was super, super intelligent. I had the time of my life. We did two records. One was called Angels Never Die, and the other one Machine to Machine. And they didn't come out in America because times were pretty tough when grunge was so big. That was actually it was very difficult, but the fans loved it. And I think the American diehard fans, they got these records like via import. And yeah, and I love them too. They were different, but I think very cool. That's the Angels Never Die. I just had that one. And this one, that was Machine to Machine. That was in 95. And yeah, wow, that you remember. And yeah, it's there. It's this anniversary. I can't believe it. It was really cool and great people played on it. For example, Earl Slick, the great guitar player, awesome. And yeah, and were great people playing on it. And Jack was, man, he was fantastic. He was fantastic. And he's not anymore with us. I don't know if you guys know. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the saddest moments. I heard it actually when I was on the Alice Cooper tour. We just played a big tour a couple of months ago with Alice Cooper in Europe. And my former bass player, Tommy Hendrickson, who is now the guitar player in Alice Cooper, who's still a great guy, and he's producing the Hollywood Vampires. And he was a big, fan, and he was a great friend of Jack Pondy as well. So I heard it while we were on tour together with Alice Cooper, and oh man, it ripped me apart because Jack he was so unique. He was, yeah, in a way, a little bit like Lemmy. He was a total free spirit. He said whatever he wanted to say. Yeah, he was super intelligent and so funny. Sometimes we were rolling on the floor because it was so funny, and he had like a very dark, hardcore sense of humor. It was not the normal sense. It was awesome. So yeah, so I'm glad that I had the chance to do great records with him. And yeah, we worked like I think 2 or 3 years together in New Jersey, New York, and yeah, unforgettable. Yeah.
Machine to Machine's been a tough album to get here in the States. Is there a chance that it may be available again at some point?
Oh yeah, yeah, yes, actually, yes. I got in contact with my um, former record company. It used to be Phonogram, Polygram, now Universal. And they called me and they said, hey, let's put out of each album another picture disc. And I thought, wow, that's great. And they did contact me because Force Majeure, it went gold. And I thought, wow. And then we had a big celebration. It was like the good old days in the 80s, like big dinner with like 20, 30 people. And yeah, and then we celebrated Force Majeure and we made a beautiful picture this of Force Majeure. Actually, that's I didn't get one yet, but that was the album, and I still have to get the picture this, but it looked really beautiful. I saw it on the internet. I saw it actually on our socials, like when they promoted it. And then they did one album that was called Rare Diamonds. It was best of Doro and Warlock. And that's actually, we started with that one beautiful picture. This, so now I, I can pick and choose. And I thought maybe I want to do another beautiful picture this of Triumph and Agony because I like that album so much. That was actually our big hit and big break in America. So, but yeah, I don't know. Hellbound was just having the another anniversary that came out in '85. Yeah, Force Majeure '85. True Steel came out in '86. So I have so much. Yeah, I don't know. What would you think? What would you like?
Oh, I would definitely like to get Machine to Machine, and I would like to get the one that precede the first one with Jack Ponty.
Yeah, yeah. The Angels Never Die. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. That was really nice. It used to be a picture this before, but I don't have it anymore. I gave all my stuff away. It's like actually, yeah, pretty much, pretty much. But I have the cover. I have the cover, and that one. That was one. It was beautiful artwork by Jeffrey Gillespie. It was always like painting so nice and yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll see. I will let you know. And yeah, since it's a big team, we all have to agree. But definitely, yeah, I will work with Universal again. That's cool. All the back catalog, and I like that because so many people they probably never heard of stuff we put out in the '80s or '90s.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Doro, those are all the questions I have for you today. The new album is Warriors of the Sea. It comes out October 24th through
Yeah.
Rare Diamond Productions. And I
Yes.
pre-ordered my liquid filled vinyl the other day. I can't wait to get it in my hands. And I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on your show. All the best to all the viewers and listeners, and keep on rocking, stay metal. And I hope I see you, hopefully at one of these great festivals and or gigs or shows or parties.